programme. An Oxford City Councillor calls for a council colleague to step down. We find out more about giving HIV the finger. And we find out what happens if you misuse medicines. Hello, I'm Tom St John and you're watching Oxfordshire News Now. A very warm welcome to the programme. An Oxford City Councillor has called for a council colleague to step down following the sharing of controversial material on social media. Councillor Ben Lloyd-Shobskin shared the images on social media earlier this year, and Councillor Mick Haynes has renewed calls for his resignation, as it was recently revealed that he would be able to rejoin the Labour group following the end of his suspension. Our reporter Alex Meakin has more.
Earlier in the year, Councillor Ben Lloyd-Shobskin was suspended by the Labour group following the discovery of posts shared by his Facebook account, which some deemed to be anti-Semitic as well as homophobic. Recently, it has emerged that the councillor will be allowed to rejoin the Labour group following the end of his suspension. In light of the recent news, Marston Councillor Mick Haynes has renewed his call for Lloyd-Shobskin's resignation. In response to Councillor Haynes' comments, Councillor Lloyd-Shobskin said the following: "I have apologised in person and do not understand why Mick Haynes is taking it further. I am paying for something other people have done. Councillor Haynes needs to put this into perspective. I didn't write the comments, I merely shared them. I was not the author or architect of the comments. All I did was share the comments. I did not write these things. I did not share them maliciously. Councillor Haynes needs to give me a break. I paid every penalty. I've accepted the penalties as I have offended people, but people deserve to be forgiven." Councillor Haynes initially called for the resignation following the comments shared by the Labour man regarding cancer. Mr Haynes had this to say about Councillor Lloyd-Shobskin's comments.
"I don't think in the first place he should have shared those comments, actually. I mean, very bad comments indeed. Talking about cancer not being a disease but a business, absolutely disgusting. I mean, I lost my own wife last year to cancer. I also have got a lot of my friends have lost their lives to cancer, and I've also got people at the moment who are suffering from cancer. And I think, all right, he's paid the penalties, he says, but that doesn't still excuse it, because he did share it, this particular thing, over with other people. And I mean, the thing is, being a councillor, whether he was or wasn't at the time, I don't accept it, because quite honestly, he was in the wrong there in the first place on mentioning that about cancer. There's so many people suffering it for today, and I think that a lot of people are thoroughly upset by his comments on it.
Councillor Haynes says it makes no difference to him if the Labour man wrote the comments or shared them.
I think basically he should have the decency to stand down now as an Oxford City Councillor, because he did share it in the first place, and they actually got him to stop down. I understand it anyway. The Labour people didn't like it themselves, what he said at the time. I mean, it just looks like, quite honestly, that it's just a run-through thing that's happened, and I think he should stand down as a City Councillor, because that comment is very bad to people. And the thing is that if you do take the gamble on this thing, then I think you suffer for what comes with it.
Councillor Haynes says he cannot forgive the councillor.
Oh, I can't forgive him on that. I mean, I know the Labour leader said, you know, let's just move on. But quite honestly, he was completely in the wrong by making that comment. Well, sharing that comment. And, you know, I mean, as I said before, I think the decent thing for him to do is to step down as an Oxford City Councillor.
Councillor Ben Lloyd-Shobskin's suspension from the Labour group ends on January the 1st. Alex Meakin, That's TV.